Hello, MJ fans. This is Carolyn Powers. I have not done a video in a really long time, and usually I sing in my videos, but today I'm kind of vlogging, I guess. I wanted to do this a couple days ago. July 6th, this article came out in the Associated Press, I guess. That's what it says. And I'm sure most of you, being fans, and I know you all are, have heard of it, but it's the New York congressman blasts Michael Jackson as a pervert. The article starts off, a New York congressman who is considering a Senate run posted a YouTube video calling Michael Jackson a pervert and questioning the exhaustive media coverage of the pop star's death. Representative Peter King, a Long Island Republican, said in the video posted Sunday that society is glorifying a lowlife, while hardworking teachers, police officers, firefighters, and veterans don't get the credit they deserve. This guy was a pervert, King said in the video, shot Sunday by a staff member outside an American Legion Hall. He was a child molester, he was a pedophile, and to be giving this much coverage to him day in and day out, what does it say about us as a country? Well, to Mr. what's his name? King? What does this say about us as a country? It's interesting because every country in the world has Michael Jackson supporters that are rallying in the streets, people that are holding candlelight vigils and putting signs and posters up everywhere and putting towels and flags and blankets with Michael Jackson's face in the middle of the street and putting candles around them. It's not just a United States thing. Not to mention the fact that he is not a pedophile or a child molester or a lowlife. I do agree that teachers, police officers, firefighters, and veterans need more credit, but Michael Jackson is somebody that has inspired teachers, police officers, firefighters, and veterans. Look at the Army videos that are sent over from Iraq and the Marines and everything else where they're dancing and having a good time to Michael Jackson music. Like, that, I can't even express to you my anger about this guy, and then he's trying to run for the Senate. And the reason I kind of rolled my eyes when I said Republican, I'm a Republican. My whole family is Republican, which ticks me off because it just seems that whenever one person in a specific group says something and it offends people, it gives the whole group a bad name. And I am Republican, let me tell you that. And my whole family is. My whole entire family loves Michael Jackson. Nobody in my family thinks he's a pedophile. Nobody thinks he's a child molester. Nobody in my family has ever called him that. And everybody thinks he is the best entertainer of all time, which he is. I'm just really angry. And I can't even believe any of this. And it's just, I've seen a couple of things on the news about it, and I've seen a couple articles on the internet, and it just blew my mind when I heard this. And he's calling him a lowlife and everything. This guy is a congressman who apparently has time out of his day to make a YouTube video on an American Legion, like, staircase or sidewalk or something. Like, get a life, really. I mean, there are people in the world that do not like Michael Jackson. We get it. They don't like his music. They don't like him. But there are also, and as we've seen on television and every website in the world, there are millions and billions of fans across the world. Even people that don't like him like his music, or people that don't like his music like him. And plenty of us love both. He was an amazing, amazing man. And then on Bill O'Reilly the other night, and I sent Bill O'Reilly's station an email about this. He was talking about how selfish Michael Jackson is because he spent money on himself. First of all, like, I spend money on myself, and everybody in my family in my house spends money on themselves. That's not a bad thing. Like, especially if you help other people just as much or more than you spend on yourself. Like, I spend money on myself every day, and I guarantee you that the amount of money I have is magnified like 5 billion with Michael Jackson. So what I spend on myself is kind of equaled out in comparison. if you understand what I'm saying. And it really irritates me. He bothered to say that he bought Neverland, which was a selfish act because it was so much money. Look what he did with Neverland. He built an amusement park on it and let kids come in. I'm sure, if not all the time, if some days for free. I'm not really sure how the money thing worked, and he let them have free roam of the park, the arcade, the pools, everything. Like, Michael Jackson didn't really do that much out of selfishness. And if he bought stuff for himself, it wasn't because he's selfish. He deserves to have some stuff for himself. Like, he did so much to help our generation and generations past and in the future. It's crazy. Like, I can't even... I would love to amount up to what Michael Jackson was, and I know I'm never going to, because he was just one incredible person, and he had a God-given talent. He had more than one God-given talent. He had a good heart, and he just did everything he could. He never put himself first. He always put everybody else first. Look what he did when he got burned. He built a burn unit. He built a burn unit, and he's just done so many things like that, like the USA Africa thing that him and Lionel Richie did. That in itself is incredible. And I'm sure that Bill O'Reilly has done a lot of good stuff in his life, but I think it's safe to say that nobody has done quite as much as Michael Jackson has. Period. Like, he's gotten awards for it, for goodness sake. Like, it's incredible, and it baffles me how stupid people are and naive and ignorant, and how they run their mouth before they have all the facts, and they don't think about anybody else's feelings, or they don't respect or honor anybody else's feelings. Like, this is a hard time. He just passed away of a sudden heart attack, and it's a shame, you know, and if it was because of the prescription medication, it's really sad. My mom was addicted to narcotics for a really long time, and she was an alcoholic. She's a recovering alcoholic now. She went to rehab twice before she got off both. So I know what it's like to live not only with a parent that's an addict, but I know some of the stuff she's told me that it does to you, and how it makes you feel, and why you become addicted, and how hard it is to get off. And that it really hits home with me. I've gone through a lot of emotions this vlog, apparently. But in all seriousness, you know, I feel for his kids. I really do. And I'm not saying that because I think he was a bad father. I think he was the best father in the entire world. I really do. But I feel for him because I understand addiction. And though I haven't been through it myself, I'm obviously close to somebody who was. And I feel for that. And I feel for his children because they don't have a father anymore. And it wasn't just... It's sad when anybody loses their parent, you know, but these kids are small. They have their whole lives ahead of them. Now they're in the media everywhere, and, you know, they deserve to have their daddy. And if anybody watched, I'm sure a lot of people did, there were 3.1 million viewers, I think. The memorial, when Paris said that at the end, just broke my heart. Broke it. Like, I was crying the entire memorial, but at the end it was just incredible. I think that was a big slap to the face, though, to anybody who's ever made fun of him or called him a bad father, because we heard from that little 11-year-old girl call him daddy and say he was the best father anybody could ever imagine.